Your words are not needed.
Ryan, estamos conscientes de algunas quejas respecto de Sagat en Street Fighter 5. Si tú pudieras cambiar algo en el juego, ¿qué cambios tú introducirías en la búsqueda de hacer a Sagat un mejor carácter?
I mean, you know, it kind of comes back a little bit to what I was just saying, that the game just in general has many areas that are incomplete. So it's hard because he's kind of not in familiar territory. I mean, he's a zoning character that's put in a game that's ultimately not about zoning, you know? So it's quite he has a difficult journey.
He's a contradiction. He's a contradiction in the game.
The biggest thing that's missing for me is an SF5 element. He doesn't have the SF5 thing. You know, like Bison, slide V trigger, activate, on you, pressure. This, for me, this is SF5. Nikali, standing hard kick, activate, crouch medium, stomp, you know, like fierce stomp, like the constant aggression up close where everything is relatively plus frames or safe on block, you know, this constant, you know, and most characters have a degree of that, you know, whether it's Sakura activating with EX fireball into standing fierce fireball, crouch medium fireball, like you're taking a lot of damage on block. A lot of gray health should be depleting. There should be some pressure. There should be kind of a little 50-50 game going on. Sagat is missing all of that. Where's that? Where's the cross up kunai into, like, you know, there's just so much missing. Yeah, like Sagat doesn't have the SF5 element. That's what he's missing.
Like pretty much he plays just fireballs. If you jump, tiger uppercut.
Yeah, but the problem with that is it's not rewarding enough. Now, I know that Capcom probably didn't want to make it annoying for new players because the game is based on that, right? So it's not about making him super annoying to play against from a zoning perspective. But then I don't understand the Guile design, because Guile is very good at zoning. Guile has a lot of tools that Sagat doesn't have, and he has even better zoning. He's just a better Sagat for this game. Yep. Guile is basically a better Sagat for a lot of things, you know? So, I mean, you know, I'm struggling to find what Capcom feel that Sagat, you know, like why would I pick Sagat instead of another character? If I need rushdown, someone does it better than Sagat. If I need zoning, someone does it better than Sagat. If I need damage, someone does that better than Sagat as well. So, you know, Sagat feels very incomplete because he doesn't dominate any zone, any area at all. And he's, you know, definitely on the lower spectrum of the tier list, in my opinion, at the moment anyway. And he just, you know, also comeback factor. I think that's the other SF5 element. Comeback. You need to have like a get in quick and do damage, like get in relatively easily as well. You know, whether it's EX, you know, I don't know, whether it's some EX that travels across the screen, you know, Birdie, Bison. I mean, so Urian.
Yeah, even Zangief has a better comeback factor than Sagat.
So many characters can just get in relatively easily and quickly and safely and have a chance at a high damage 50-50, you know? And this is what SF5 is. Sagat is missing that. He needs his getting on you. You know, he should have like a EX Tiger Knee that travels straight across and then you can activend and then you're up close. That's what the game is.
That would change the whole thing. That's right.
You should have to spend the EX bar. You can EX Tiger Knee in and it gets close and it's like +2 on block and then you activate and then it's like +17 and you can do whatever you want. I don't know.
Yeah. But, something like that will work.
He's missing, you know, like most of these characters have like slide activate, you know, you can't really do a lot about it, you know, Blanca, Bison, Vega, you know, all these slide activate characters. You can't really stop it, even if you know it's coming. Zeku, you know, it's just this keeps growing. But you either give him like 6 zoning. I feel is a little bit dated. I feel just sitting back and doing tiger shot. I feel they need to get a bit more creative with the character because Street Fighter V has had developments with each character. To give just Sagat only 6, like, because a lot of arguments is his zoning should be better, right? I've heard that. I've heard people argue saying They should make his zoning even better. It's Sagat, he's the zoning character. But for me, the way Street Fighter 5 is designed, I feel that is a bit boring. Just is that all he does? Is that all you're going to give him? Like, give him a style, give him something, make him like be able to change stance, or I don't know, but like come up with something that's not just tiger shot, tiger uppercut, something else, anything else, you know?
Yep.
And yeah, so I feel like if they didn't want to give him, you know, the standard strong zoning style mixed up with tiger knees and normals, they should have gone a bit more creative then and actually make something out of him, you know?
Yeah.
But they probably were feeling threatened that they can't make him too different because he doesn't fit the original IP that the character's known for. But at the same time, I do think they played it way too safe and they played it too easy. They played it too easy. They should have been a bit more. They should have taken a bit more risk, and they should have been a bit more creative. I think they were a little bit lazy with the design. They didn't give him any love. No love at all.
Yeah. I think they should have put a command grab on Sagat because he's too slow.
You know what?
You
know what? I've had this conversation with Logan Summer, and the funniest part was even a command grab could not save Sagat in SF5.
What about the walk speed?
Think about it. When would Sagat command grab you? When?
So
I think the problem with Sagat as well is that, you know, we've had experiences where he's overpowered to the community standards, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
You know, we've had Sagat being very, very strong. You know, Street Fighter 1, ridiculous, right? Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, OD, Super Turbo, original Sagat, ridiculous.
Super Turbo, he was like a beast.
CBS 2, ridiculous.
Yes, one of the best.
Vanilla Sagat on SF4, ridiculous. So Sagat is a difficult character to just be strong in a game because he receives a lot of complaints and he's ruined games for people in the past. So I think that that's the challenge, right? It's how do we make this character fun, but not run him into the ground completely, you know? And I don't think it would be that difficult though. No. Give him a better tiger knee. You don't have to break it, but give him a tiger knee that you can actually use for stuff, like tactically. Go over low normals or go over low projectiles, or, you know, give him a tiger knee you can use. It's SF5. You don't have to be shy. You don't have to just give him, you know, like just like half-baked moves and make him deal with it. Like, you can actually make him good. You can give him stuff that's actually good.
You know, I think that with a tiger knee that can be invincible to projectiles, I think that will make a huge difference for him.
Maybe EX.
Yeah, with the EX that he can travel a little bit farther and again go against the projectiles. That would be fantastic. So let's go ahead and try to replicate this answer into Spanish, which is gonna be awesome. But don't you worry, boy. We got you. We got you covered.
You seem pretty good at this. I have to say.
Ok, perfecto. So, menciona, la pregunta era obviamente que qué podíamos hacer con respecto a Sagat para hacerlo mejor. Él decía que todo iba acorde a lo que mencionaba en la pregunta anterior. El diseño de carácter no está hecho en el rush de Street Fighter V, en esa ofensiva por encima. Sagat es como una contradicción en Street Fighter V, porque él está simplemente en un juego de zoning, en un juego que no es de zoning. Es un juego de rush del 50-50. Entonces, tú poner este carácter con la lentitud en la que él se maneja contra un juego que es basado totalmente en una ofensiva y en agresión todo el tiempo, es como esa contradicción, ¿no? Y él decía, bueno, que para mejorarlo habría que ponerle obviamente algo que, o sea, no sé, que Sagat corriera de esquina a esquina con un Tiger Knee y pudiera activar y tener frames positivos a favor de él, que él pudiera manejar eso. Pero él, sin embargo, no tiene esa capacidad y prácticamente queda fuera de lo que es el juego de Street Fighter V. Yo decía que obviamente, que si le ponían un command grab. Entonces él dice Ryan Hart, bueno, pero si le ponen un command grab, ¿cuándo él te va a agarrar? ¿Cuándo él te va a command grab a pegártelo? Si el after forward dash de él es muy lento, quizás lo haría más interesante si el Tiger Knee corriera más, avanzara más espacio y fuera invisible a los fireballs. Su zona, el zoning del jugador mejoraría y pudiera crear un mejor rush para el juego y de esa forma balancearlo. Pero en conclusión, es por eso que él decía que el juego en cierto punto está incompleto, porque no le permite a caracteres como Sagat, por ejemplo, brillar dentro de ese estilo, porque su rush no existe. Prácticamente lo único que tiene es la activación del V-Trigger con el parry, que aguanta un golpe ahí con el armor, pero fuera de eso, el jugador no tiene cómo, en efecto, hacer el mayor daño. en este juego. Espero haber cubierto una gran parte ahí. Entonces vuelvo ahora, tenemos la próxima pregunta, que dice, ¿cuál es su opinión con respecto a la situación que está pasando, obviamente, el FGC, a raíz de los casos de acoso sexual y del racismo? So, Ryan, and what is your opinion about the situation that the FGC is going through due to the cases of sexual harassment and racism today?
Oh man, that's a deep one, man. I thought you were going to ask me about the EX Tiger shots and stuff. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we went so deep on this one.
Yeah, man. I mean, okay, so none of the things mentioned are new things in life. Like, these are things that we've known about forever.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we probably didn't know about them within the FGC. Like, in life, we know about them, but we hadn't connected the FGC with a lot of these things, I personally feel. This is kind of where the FGC is a double-edged sword, I feel, because yes, it's very welcoming. It doesn't matter who you are, what country you're from, what language you speak. There's a place for you in the FGC. There's a home for you. You know, it's very open. It's very welcoming. Yeah. But this also means that you're going to get people that have had very difficult backgrounds. You're going to have people that are very damaged. You're going to have people from all walks of life. And, you know, you might get people that come in to do harm as well. That can happen because it's open. So it doesn't surprise me in one respect because of that, because, you know, you're going to get a mixture of everyone, right? That's so you're also going to get people that use it for not so positive things, you know? But it's a shame because I feel like the FGC has been such a positive influence in many people's lives. People need to just work their shit out. Like, just sort your shit out. Don't bring that here. Like, what you doing? Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like nowadays there's enough ways to get out there, to get advice, to get help, to talk to someone, you know, like what the thing is, when you talk to people as well, most people, they kind of know what they're doing. Like, you know, when you see people talk about, like, you know, you'll see like documentaries where people talk about stuff they've done in the past, you know, and it's like they're all like shadowed out because they don't want to be revealed. And and when they talk about the offenses they've made, like, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't
they're aware. They are aware of
it. They weren't just in a situation where they didn't know what was going on. They were very lucid, very coherent. They knew what was up.
But let me ask you something, Ryan.
Yeah, man.
You being a black guy in UK, did you ever feel racism where you were starting with this FGC thing and traveling all over the world? Did you ever feel racism about it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, being black, you develop a very thick skin very early on in life. It doesn't matter where you're black. Just being black starts that. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you've got that melanin going, then you need a bit of extra coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You need a few extra layers. You know.
Yes, you do.
And I ain't talking about tone neither. You understand? So it's just one of those things. I mean, I've had that, man. I've had that. You go to an event and they look at you funny, or you're, you know, a lot of the times it's not only in the community, but things around the community as well. Like, you all go to a dinner, like 20 of you from the FGC, and like, I'm the only black guy, and the staff at the restaurant look at me in a strange way. You know, is this guy supposed to be here? Can he afford to pay for the meal? You know, like all that kind of nonsense. There's all that stuff. At tournaments, not so much, to be honest, because in the FGC, it's not unusual to see a black person. So, you know, at actual events, I haven't had as many experiences, but in and like around events, or when an event is held in a certain type of venue, you know, many Street Fighter tournaments I've been to have been held in very expensive hotels because, you know, the staff hired a ballroom to host the tournament. So I'm here, me, in this really expensive place that I probably could never afford to sleep in because that's how expensive it is. But I'm there for this tournament, and then I'll go to like the reception and ask where the bathroom is, or I'll, you know, where can I buy a drink? And they'll just give me a look. And, you know, the more experience you get with this, the more you kind of start to understand what different looks mean. Certain looks are not harmful. Certain looks are just oh, okay, this is different.
Mhm.
It can be harmless. It can just be genuine interest as well. It's not anything malicious. But
Yep.
there's other looks where what's up. When I sometimes I when I travel with my wife, I mean, she's the one who's like the best at finding the best holiday places and stuff. But I've traveled there, and she'll like make the reservation online, and then we go there and we spend like 7 nights or whatever. And when we go to check out, they look to her for the bill. She's my wife is white for context.
Yeah.
And they look for her. They look to her, and I get my credit card out, and I put my
Like you're
credit
the
card
pimp.
out.
Okay.
You're the pimp.
And then and when I get my credit card out and put it down, they look at me strange. They're like, oh,
Like
sorry,
it's
sir. But what I don't like in those situations is when I get my card out and put it down, they're like, oh, we're really sorry, sir. And all of a sudden they're like they're so nice after that.
Because now you're able to pay.
when they see you got money, then they're like, oh, okay. And
we're
it's just
sorry.
like, why don't you if you're not sure, why don't you just ask? But
Like who's gonna pay the bill? That's it.
Yeah, I think people need to just get very good at dealing with their own insecurities. And I think the more people do that, the less need they will have for these levels of discrimination and so on, and hating on different communities. No, it's not necessary. You need to deal with your own stuff that you got going on, because you got stuff going on. If you're discriminating against other people because of what they look like, you've got stuff going on. And until you figure that out, there'll always be something. If everyone in the world was the same color, you would find something else. We don't like tall people. We don't like small people. We don't like fat people. We don't, you would find something. We don't like people with red hats. We don't like people with, we don't like people with black jeans or whatever. You'd find a way. So I just feel like before any of that can be solved, people just need to look within and solve their own insecurities, their own issues, and when we start all taking account for our own insecurities, then the world will already be a much better place.
Excelente. So, really great answer again, boy. Dice Ryan Hart que realmente su opinión con respecto al tema de los casos de acoso sexual y de racismo es realmente una pena, porque él sabe que eso siempre ha existido en el mundo. Lo único que no lo veíamos dentro del FC, porque el FGC, las comunidades de gaming, siempre le dan la bienvenida a todo el mundo, ¿no? Pero eso es un arma de doble filo por el hecho de que por ser tan abierta y de permitirte que no importa qué lengua hables, de dónde vengas, le permitimos a todos que sean parte de esta comunidad. Eso trae consigo una mixtura de situaciones de gente que tiene problemas de otra categoría, que pueden ser obviamente que si acoso sexual, que si racista, que si cualquier cosa. Obviamente nos va a tocar una pizca porque somos un porcentaje, un muestreo de lo que somos en general.
Before let you go, everyone been here before to be in interview has to say aclarado en cuarentena. So do your thing, try your best, and in 3, 2, 1.
So aclarao en cuarentena.
There we go. Oh, boy. You nailed it in the first try. God damn.
Yeah, man.
That was a good one.
Nice.
That was a good one right there.
Don't test my execution. Don't test my execution. Don't test.
It's okay. So before we let you go, do you have any advice for the Dominican FGC in general?
What I want to say, right? So first of all, I recognize that you guys are very talented. When I went to St. Martin's, it was my first time to experience a lot of you, because a lot of you came to St. Martin's. So I saw you playing each other. I saw how you gel together. I saw how you talk about the game. You guys are very aggressive, man. I was like, whoa, these guys are going ham.
That's awesome.
Very aggressive in and out of the game. I love it. And I was with Sanford Kelly, and we came in. We were invited to one of the hotel rooms, and we came in.
I remember that.
And you guys were playing money matches only. You're like serious, playing money matches for big money. I was like, right, these guys are hardcore, and I loved it straight away. That's my jam. That's how I get down. So I was like,
you love it because you took money away from us, of course.
No, before we played.
Okay.
Before we played, I just liked the vibe. I liked the energy. I liked that you guys were ready to play serious games. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because a lot of players, they're not like that. When they get into international wars, they get scared. They start saying, no, we don't want to do that. You guys were manly. Like, let's go. Well, put your money where your mouth is, and I love that.
That's it.
And you guys all of you were like so good. I'm like, why don't I know about these guys? These guys are sick. And I was talking to Sanford, I was like, man, look at this. And yeah, I was so impressed. And me and Sanford were like, Who do you want to play? Do you want to play that guy? Nah, not him. He looks good. You want to play that guy? Nah, he looks too good. Like, you know, everyone was just so good, you know. Anyway, so I love that. A lot of talent, clearly, in Dominican Republic. You've shown that on every game. And what I want to start talking about here, right? I feel like a lot of players, they strive to be, you know, the best. They strive to win the tournament. They strive to be the champion. Now, I think, though, that you have to have a very strong mind and a strong heart as well. But I feel like you need to also know, like, how to not give up your thing. If you've got a certain approach, you know, if you want to be a champion, if you want to be a combo creator, you know, like a content creator, if you want to be a tournament organizer, whatever your thing is, like, keep fighting for that thing. Doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't matter if anyone says you can't do this, there's no hope, there's no viewers here, there's no money, there's no reason. Forget all that nonsense. This is what you need for you. You're not doing it for that person. Do that thing that you want to do for you, and don't let anyone tell you you can't do it because of because of limits that they see. Those are not your limits. You don't have to set your limits around other people's limits. And that's one thing you always have to stay focused on, especially if you're in a limited community, because the surroundings dictate everything, you know, in an area. If you're in a room, the people talking in the room control your senses, your eyes, your ears, wherever things go. You understand what I mean? So you have to always think about what you need for you and focus on that. That time when you become a champion, or that time when you become a person of influence, that time when you become someone that people listen to, that people talk to, always use that opportunity there. That time, it's limited. The time that you have on a big stage, on stream, in a grand final, it's limited. There's a start time and an end time, and the tournament's over. In the same way, fame or attention works the same way. There's a limited window of opportunity where you have the lights on you and people talking to you and about you and so on. When you have that, use every second of that time to educate others about how to be humble, about how to, you know, manage that, and, you know, like, teach others. If you've got a skill, if you're sick at Street Fighter, like, teach other players to be sick so they can be sick with you. You know, it's about building a community around you. It's not just being good. Like there's being strong at fighting games, but an actual strong player is able to build up the players around him as well as himself. It's not just a solo journey. It's talked about a lot, you know, it's hyped up, the solo journey, being a self-made man. We talk about that all the time, but that's just a lie. The truth is, things are only done with teamwork and community effort, with everybody working together and helping each other. That's actually how things are done. So I definitely want to say that, you know, for those people coming up in the ranks, learning Street Fighter, getting better, playing with each other, like, when you start to get good and you notice that, use that space to also help everyone around you and kind of grow together, you know, be really one in that mission. And I think that's really, really important.
Lo primero que dice es que cuando conoció la comunidad dominicana, personalmente fue cuando estuvimos en San Martín, y se llevó la mejor de las impresiones, que somos muy agresivos en lo que tiene que ver con el juego. Y él decía, pero ¿cómo no conozco a este tipo? ¿Y de dónde este tipo tiene este nivel? Entonces él y Sanford decían, ¿con quién voy a jugar? ¿Voy a jugar con este? No, voy a jugar con que no, ese es demasiado duro. Entonces él dice que eso le gustó, que ese es el tipo de cosas que a él le encanta y que nosotros lo tenemos. Entonces su primer consejo, cuando queramos incursionar en algo, como ser bueno jugando, llegar a ser el campeón, haciendo social media, haciendo casters, como hacemos nosotros aquí en Aclarao en Cuarentena, dice, no te lleves de la negatividad ni aquellos que te dicen que tú no podrás, porque lo que tú estás haciendo tú no lo haces por esa persona que te dice que no se puede, sino hazlo por ti, porque eso es lo que amas y eso es lo que quieres. Que no tomemos solo el tiempo para decir lo difícil que ha sido nuestra jornada o lo duro que ha sido para nosotros llegar hasta ahí, sino que compartamos con los demás y hagamos el esfuerzo de ser más que uno luchando para ser bueno, una comunidad. Thank you, Ryan, for staying with us this whole time and for sharing your impressions and giving us every answer for every question. Shout outs for you, a great hug in the distance, and keep yourself, stay safe.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for having me as your guest.